is the Macan GTS, Porsche's best-selling SUV. And the GTS, it used to sit in that sweet spot between the Macan, Macan S and Macan Turbo. The Macan Turbo isn't going to be made anymore. So the GTS is their top of the line model. And it's the last time you can purchase the top spec Macan in its internal combustion, guys, till the next generation Macan comes, because that's going to be all electric. So should you get one? Should you be getting an SUV that's also a sports car? We're going to be finding out where I drive the Macan GTS on some delightful winding roads of Kerala and some beautiful fast highways of Tamil Nadu. So, Happy New Year to me. Let me tell you a little bit about this drive, because before we get to the Macan GTS, I'd like to tell you about what we're doing, why we're driving all the way from Cochin to Chennai to test the Macan GTS. It's a proper test drive review, but it's also living with the car. We're going to get to know the car a lot better. And for the first time on a media drive, manufacturer is offering a vehicle to drive over multiple days, so we get to know the car better, get to live with it, and really get to experience if the car is as versatile as it claims to be. This is through the Sholawar Forest Reserve, and we're really encountering some really bad roads on this drive. This Macan GTS, it's actually a sports car in an SUV suit, but it's also got adaptive air suspension. So it's taking the ride really well, the bad roads and the good roads. You set it up in comfort, you set the suspension and raise the ride height and set it in the highest ride height possible, and it goes over everything. Sure, it's got Pirelli P0 tires, so I've got to take care of the sharper, bumps and potholes, but otherwise this SUV is taking it all. And it just feels so comfortable and versatile like a regular Macan. And it's got the crazy character of a sports car when you dial it all in and put it into Sport Plus mode. It's a really enthusiastic car to drive. It's got everything you want from a performance car, and it's got the comforts of an SUV. These seats, these beautiful GTS sports seats, are a gazillion times adjustable. You get the right seating position, and the minute you sit in a Porsche, you just feel like you're sitting in a car that's meant to be driven hard. Under the hood is a 2.9 litre turbocharged V6, and it dishes out 434 horsepower and 550 Newton meters of torque. This car gets the sports chrono pack, so 0 to 100 is 4.3 seconds. Of course, there are a few speed breakers along the way, so I have to slow down for them. But otherwise, this car is really quick and it grips and goes. The Macan GTS gets the same all-wheel drive system and the traction control system as the all-wheel 911s, and that means it gets the full sports car experience dialed in. It's not that regular SUV that you take blast down the highway with its powerful engine and, enjoy just the highway. It's the car for the winding road. It's a proper sports car in the guise of an SUV. So you get 100% of your torque sent to the rear axle, and whenever it detects slip, it will send torque to the front axle, and that means it gives you a really tight, agile handling feel when you're on a winding road. And you can really cane it because the rear nicely squats and it will carry you through the corner. These wide Pirellis are epic on this winding road. You gotta slow down on the bad patches, of course. You gotta take care of your tires, but otherwise, oh man, this SUV is fun. We've been getting a lot of comments on Instagram about, can you drive such performance SUVs on Indian roads? Here you go. I've had no issue whatsoever. This is a tight road, but the car has no issues here. And the ride, the suspension is just so good, so good. Now I'm in Sport Plus mode. I'm sending all my torque right now to the rear axle. I've got my exhaust on. I've got my suspension nice and stiff. And it just works. It's just so nice to drive. The steering is quick and responsive. This 7-speed dual clutch PDK is the best in the business. It's just so good. It's at the right gear at the right time all the time. It's so intuitive, and it drops 2 gears whenever you want that extra performance. And the pops and bangs and crackles. Woo. This car is fun on a winding road. And it's quick. So now we're driving on these beautiful winding roads cutting through tea estates on the outskirts of Valparai, and we're heading towards Coimbatore. And the Macan GTS really shines through on these stunning driving roads. It's fast and smooth almost throughout. You get a few bad patches here and there, but overall you can stick the drive selector in Sport, Sport Plus, or go to the individual settings, set the suspension in soft and the rest of it in its maximum setting. And the Macan GTS really turns into a sports car on these roads. This is a beautiful highway from Mahabalipuram onwards, and you can really cane the car here, but of course stick to speed limits. You've been seeing the car for a few minutes now, so let me tell you about the options that the Macan GTS has on offer, because they are a lot. And you can see this striking green color. That's the Python green paint on the Porsche Macan GTS. It's a 5 lakh rupee option. Right? And there are a lot more options to make this mass-produced SUV to suit your needs, to feel extra special, that feels like a custom car made specifically for you. The paint, it's 5 lakhs. What you get for free because of the Python green paint that you're paying for is the green stitching on the inside, the green floor mats, the green stitching on the seats. It all feels like it's one design package. Then you pay 22 lakhs for the GTS Sports Pack, which includes the Sports Chrono Pack, and that really makes the car special when you're driving on a track, because you can do 0 to 100 in 4.3 seconds instead of the 4.5 that a stock Macan GTS does. It gets you launch control, it can measure your lap times, so it's a nice thing to have if you do a lot of track drives with your SUV, which won't be often with most people, but it's a good thing to have. In addition to that, you pay 3.5 lakhs for that panoramic sunroof. You pay 2.45 lakhs for the Bose music system, which of course is banging. It's the best I've heard among recent cars that I've driven. The twin turbo V6 is free revving and loves to sing, goes all the way to 6,800 RPM, and it's got all the pops and bangs when you put the sport exhaust on. So it's a really exciting car to drive without any music most of the time, but if you're on a long road trip, crack in your favorite tunes, and the Bose system is there to entertain you. Then of course you've got to pay 60 grand for those Porsche puddle lights. I think you can spec that out. You pay 1.5 lakhs for a 360-degree surround camera. So that's a really expensive feature to have. So is it worth it spending 40 lakhs extra to get all this equipment on the Macan GTS to make it feel like it's your custom SUV? You could buy a VW Tiguan for that price, but then is the car as special as it makes the car to be? What do you think about Porsche's customization options? Do let us know in the comments. As automotive journalists, you come across some days where you don't want to return the keys of the car you've been reviewing. This is one of those days. If you want a one-car garage, one set of wheels to do it all, the Porsche Macan GTS, this mid-size Porsche, is the car for you. You don't need a quicker 0 to 100 time or more power or more space. Almost like this is tailor-made for a country like India. It just fits like a glove. And that's why I really want one. It's got the practicality of an SUV, it's got the performance of a sports car, and Porsche flawlessness. Why wouldn't anyone want one? Just want one.